Hi, I'm Judy Copenbarger, and I'm glad you found us today. In times like this, we have so many questions. Am I going to have a job? Is my employer even going to be able to employ me? And what happens if I get laid off? What happens to my benefits? And can I actually withdraw my 401k in the event that I am laid off? Let's take a look. So, can you withdraw your 401k from your employer plan if you get laid off? Well, there's a whole series of rules we need to look at and reflect upon to be able to answer that question. So the first thing to know is a 401k is an employer-sponsored program that allows you to contribute money each paycheck, each month, or each week into your retirement program. The 401k contributions that you make are not taxed when you earn them. And if your employer is matching, that's even better. That's free money, right? So all the money that's going in is not taxed now, but it will be taxed if the IRS deems a withdrawal has occurred. So whether you borrow the money out and don't pay it back, or if you take the money out when you sever employment or are laid off or furloughed, or if for some reason you take the money out before it's time for you to do that. And the rules are, right now, 59.5. If you are younger than that, there's even an excise tax that goes on top of that. So if you do need the money from a 401k plan, you want to make sure that you borrow it with an appropriate program. You don't want to just take it out. What surprises people often is that they will see all the money in their 401k account. They will sever employment, or employment will be severed for them. Unfortunately, they get laid off or they get fired. Now they have this bucket of money and it looks like it's all that money that you get to spend. There are heavy penalties if you don't tax it right and if you use it before you're supposed to. IRS is watching. All that money is tracked and they know if you've taken it and shouldn't have. When people usually find out is 12 to 18 months later when they get the IRS tax bill, the penalties, the excise tax, and all the penalties and interest on that, which is usually most of the money that they took and actually used. So be careful. If you need to use the money in the event that you've been laid off, make sure that you do it the right way. Lots of rules around this. We've got a great video you might want to watch, and it's called What Are the Real Differences Between a 401k and an IRA? And we go through all of the distinctions there. So before you make a move and spend all that money that you worked so hard to earn, make sure you know if you're vested, if a loan is available for you, exactly how much of the money you get to take with you, and how much might need to stay with your employer in the event that you're laid off. Another thing that you might want to consider if you have been laid off or furloughed or fired, or for whatever reason you sever employment with your employer. You want to make sure that when you take your bucket with you, I always say take your bucket and run. You might have an option at your employer, if you have enough money in your 401k, to leave it with the manager or the third-party administrator there. If it's a small amount, they usually just say, if it's under $5,000, they usually say, we're sending you a check. Make sure you put it into an IRA, otherwise that's going to be hit with all those taxes that we talked about. So you may have that option to take your money with you. Anything that's already vested can go out the door with you. And I recommend that rather than putting that money into another 401k program when you get where you're going at your next job, rather than that, roll it over. It's called an IRA rollover. Roll it over to an IRA account that you can self-manage. You can get one at a bank. You can get one at any broker, any registered investment advisory. You set up your own account that's an IRA. The money goes in there and it's done tax-free. It'll continue to grow tax-deferred, but it's a tax-free event. It shouldn't cost you anything to set that up. It's almost always advisable to do that if you have an advisor that doesn't charge you too much, because a 401k is an employer-sponsored program. It's covered under ERISA, and you can learn all about that in the video that I mentioned. But that means that there are special regulatory agencies watching it. There are people that are making sure that all the things that need to happen with that account happen. IRS is watching it. You know, Sam's always waiting to tax that money. He hasn't taxed it yet, and he's watching it. So all of that recording and all of that reporting and all the agencies involved each take a little bit. So there's a little fee here, a little percentage there, a little fee here, and all those add up to a cost that's just missing from your account. if you have an employer-sponsored program like a 401k. There's also 457s and 403bs if you're a public employee or you're a teacher or a nonprofit. There are all these programs that IRS allows you to benefit from by contributing in a tax-free way. But when you take the money out, you got to be really careful that you do it right and that you roll it over appropriately. So if you do get laid off, that is usually unfortunate news. But remember, when a door closes, a window opens. And when it comes to taking your bucket with you, taking your 401k with you, and perhaps some other benefits that your employer has set out for you, make sure that you self-direct it, you roll it to an IRA, and you seek wise counsel when it comes to tax planning and all these loans that you need to navigate. Make sure that you just do it correctly. Everything that you see online is not going to always be accurate information. Everybody that you talk to that thinks they're experts out there are not always experts. So make sure that if you're getting advice on taxes, you're talking to a CPA, you're talking to a registered investment advisor that knows their stuff, or you're actually looking at the irs.gov site. Accurate information. All the other things, usually there's a motivation there, some kind of incentive for you to be directed down a path you might not want to be on. So if you're laid off, do it and do it right. I trust that this information has been so helpful for you. You're going to want to share it to everybody. You're going to want to thumbs up it, right? And you're going to want to ring that bell so when all the other videos come out that can help you, you'll get notified of them first. So thanks for watching. I know this has been great information for you. Have a great day. And again, I'm Judy Copenbarger. God bless.